Awesome. So join me at the top of your mat. I'm going to begin this morning here in our mountain pose, feet shoulder width apart, hands resting by your side. Since it's early here in New Zealand, it makes sense to already bring some energy into the body by standing up. We'll take 3 deep breaths here, in and out through the nose. Let's find one cleansing breath in through the nose, and then sidle out through the mouth. Good, one more like that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and open the eyes gently, and then interlace the hands in front of the body. We're going to press the palms all the way up to the sky. Find this nice standing full body yawn. And then drop the shoulders, release the tension from the jaw. Keeping the hands where they are. On an inhale, let's rise up onto the tippy toes. Inhale, come nice and high. And exhale, lower the heels, keep the hands where they are. We'll find 2 more. Inhale, rise up on the toes. And exhale, soften. Good, 1 more. Inhale, come up nice and high, press the palms up. And exhale, release. Go ahead and release the hands. We'll give the shoulders a nice big roll up and back. Allowing whatever is going to come today to come in its own pace. This morning we're focusing on being present right here in our little rectangle of peace. And then we're going to interlace the hands behind the body. Draw the fist, that's one big fist, back and up. And feel the chest begin to open as the chin lifts. Full cycle of breath here. Good, and then release the hands. Feel the body begin to loosen up. I invite you to find any movement this morning, any wiggles, anything that looks like it's a bit weird, but it feels really good. Just take it. And we're going to begin to open up the back of the legs now with some forward folds. So let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch, and then hinging from the hips, press the fingertips out to the sides as you begin to fold towards the ground. Now, it is early, so bend the knees as much as you need. Your upper body might be resting on top of the thighs. And then let the head hang heavy. For our first forward fold, we're going to find ragdoll, grabbing onto opposite elbows here. Just allow the neck to begin to reach towards the ground, the crown of the head melting down. And then gently sway from side to side, beginning to loosen up through the hips and the lower back. And then go ahead, shake the head yes, and shake the head no. Just letting the tension literally fall off of the shoulders. Release the elbows. Inhale to halfway lift. Bring the hands to the shins. Find a flat back. A little bit of length in the back of the legs. And then fold forward a little deeper. Good. Now bend the knees a lot. Tuck the chin to the chest. And very slowly we're going to unfurl our way up to standing. Taking your time. Head comes last. And then reach the hands up overhead. Good. Exhale. Take another fold. We're going to find one more after this. And with every fold, finding a bit more space in the back of the legs. This is a really gentle way to wake up. Just release the lower back. Inhale, find a halfway lift. A bit of length here. And then exhale, fold into that space. Bend the knees and come all the way up to standing. Hands touch overhead. Good, one more. Exhale, release the hands out to the side, fold forward. Maybe bending the knees a little less, finding a bit more of a straight-legged forward fold. Again, no worries if not, the hamstrings can be really tight in the morning, so take it easy. Inhale to halfway lift. Find that flat back, a little bit of length. And then exhale, fold. Good, inhale, let's come all the way up to standing, palms touch. And then exhale, release the hands by your side. Returning to our starting position, our Tadasana. As we stand here, just notice how the back of the legs feel. Notice any difference just a couple minutes ago in the hamstrings. Yeah, now inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Plant the hands and then step all the way to the back of the mat, coming into this high plank just for a moment. Lower the knees and then lower all the way down onto the belly. Untuck the toes. And then on an inhale, light on the hands, gently peel the upper body off of the mat. Keep pressing the thighs into the ground. For our little baby cobra, a small back bend to warm up the spine. Exhale, release. And then staying here, we're going to find some snake-like movements, so staying with our cobra, but we're going to bring the hands out to the edges of the mat, making this nice 90-degree angle with the elbows. Press the fingertips as if you've got claws into the mat. And bring the forehead to the ground. Just like our baby cobra. On an inhale, peel the upper body off of the mat. Gaze up, press through the fingertips. And then drop the right shoulder as you gaze to the left elbow. Beautiful stretch through the right side of that chest. Good, let's come back up to center. Gaze forward and then drop the left shoulder. Gaze to the right elbow. Come back up through center, lift high, and then exhale, release the forehead. Keep your hands where they are. We'll find two normal lifts here. On an inhale, lift the upper body, find a small back bend. Exhale, release the forehead to the mat. One more. Inhale, Lift the upper body, gaze up, and exhale, soften. Good. Take the hands under the shoulders, and then let's press ourselves into a tabletop, coming onto all fours. Hands under your shoulders, knees under hips. And then let's extend the right fingertips to the top of the mat. Good, so that left hand is still under the left shoulder. And then we're going to gently drop over to the right, gazing to the left. Just feeling a really gentle pull through the right side of the body, the right shoulder. Kind of like a half puppy pose. Good. And then take the right hand back under the shoulder. Extend the left hand. And then gently open up to the right. Dropping down just a little. And then stacking both hands back under the shoulders. Awesome. We're going to find some cat-cows here. I invite you to make your cat-cows look however you want them to look. But if you're new to yoga, come with me. We'll find about 5 rounds. On an inhale, we're going to drop the belly, arch the back, and lift the chin. Really pressing the tailbone nice and high. And then on an exhale, round the spine, tuck the belly in, and press the ground away. Chin comes to chest. Feel the shoulder blades open up. Good. Inhale. Find your cow pose. And then exhale. Round for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. And then go ahead and sit back on the heels, coming into this Thunderbolt Pose. Hands rest on the thighs, just for a moment. If you like, you can tuck the toes underneath. All right, otherwise just staying on the tops of the feet. Find a nice tall spine. Imagine that there is a line from your tailbone all the way up to your head. And then plant the left hand down beside you. Reach the right arm up and overhead. Big side body stretch here on the right. Beautiful. Let's release that. Taking the right hand beside us. Left arm comes up overhead. So that left bicep is beside the ear. Fingertips reach towards the side of the room. Good. And then release. Let's come back onto all fours. We're going to press back for our first downward facing dog of the morning. So really pressing through the palms of the hands, and then all 10 finger pads. Tuck the toes, and then send the tailbone high. Now again, bend the knees as much as you need. All right, you might be like me, and this just feels so tight. Right, first thing. All right, so take your time. If the heels don't come to the ground, that's okay. But allow the head and the upper body to begin to melt towards the thighs. All right, so once you find that line from the fingers to the sit bones, then you can begin to straighten the legs. And because it's early, we're going to walk the feet out, bending one leg, straightening the other, and finding some movement here. Beautiful. Now roll the body forward into a high plank. Lower the knees, lower the chin and chest to the ground. And then inhale, find a baby cobra. Exhale, release the upper body, tuck the toes, and then press back into your downward facing dog. Now that small movement is called a Vinyasa. You are more than welcome to take that this morning as we flow, or meet back in down dog. But I'll guide you through when those come. Now gaze to the top of the mat, and then however you'd like to get there, we're going to step, hop, jump, roly-poly to the top of the mat, stepping both feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift, find a flat back, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand and reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the hands by your side. We're going to take 2 sun salutations on each side. So I'll guide you through. We're going to begin to build some heat and really feel loose right throughout the body. Beautiful way to start the day. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the left foot back to the back of the mat. Option to lower the knee or stay high on that back foot. And then press back for downward facing dog. Inhale, roll the body forward, high plank. Lower the knees, chin and chest. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, lift the body up, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg steps to the front of the mat. Exhale, left foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, palms touch overhead. And then exhale, release the hands by your side. So that's 1 round on one side. We'll shift to the other side now, and then we'll repeat just once more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. This time right foot steps all the way to the back of the mat. Option to lower the knee. Gaze forward. And then press back, downward facing dog. Roll forward to a high plank. And then taking the option of lowering all the way down for baby cobra, or perhaps lowering just off the mat, and then finding upward facing dog. The difference here is that the thighs stay off the ground. Good. Press back, downward facing. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, right foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, palms touch. And let's go straight back into it. Exhale, forward fold. Back on the right side. Inhale, lift, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back. Gaze forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward. Lower through chaturanga, this push up here. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps forward. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, reach the arms up. One more. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back. Bend the left knee. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll the body forward, lower down. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot steps forward. Exhale, right foot steps forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, reach the palms up, and then release them by your side. Whew. Just notice the breath. Notice the effort that you have just put in. Feeling warm now. And then inhale, reach the palms up. And then exhale, find a forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and then step back for downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's sweep the right leg nice and high and then bend to the knee, open the hip, open to the right. Now keep squaring the upper body with the mat. So the whole body's not opening up to the right, just the hip. And then on an exhale, let's draw that knee in nice and close to the chest and step it forward. Framing that front foot with the hands. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. And then inhale, rise up with the upper body and bend into that right knee. This is our low lunge. Now you can stay here. Maybe you prefer to be on the fingertips. All right, we'll take one more full breath here. And then plant the fingertips if they're not. Untuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Feel strong through that back foot. And on an inhale, we're going to rise up to warrior two. So reach the arms up and then pivot the back foot to face the long edge of the mat. Good. Keep bending into that right knee. Gaze over the right fingertips. And then exhale, reverse your warrior. Reach the right arm overhead. Left hand reaches back and down. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Find a deeper bend. Reach forward a little bit more. And then go ahead and straighten that front leg. Begin to tilt from the hips, coming to triangle. Right hand can rest on the right shin, ankle, maybe on the ground. And left hand reaches to the sky. Gaze up to the left. And then using our core strength, let's lift up, reverse your triangle. So the legs stay the same, but the hands find the opposite direction. Good, inhale, bend into the front knee. Find your warrior two once again. And then take the right forearm to the right thigh. Left hand sweeps to the front of the room for side angle. Lots of side body stretches here. Good, now staying here, let's take that right hand down to the mat. So feeling this twist. And then look down at the right fingertips. Plant both hands down. Coming into this high lunge, let's press back for downward facing dog. Now, optional vinyasa here, or stay in downward facing dog. If you're taking the vinyasa, we roll forward to high plank. Lower all the way down, or maybe just off of the mat. And then inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Press back, downward facing. You'll find this little mini sequence on the other side. Really ground through the right foot. And then lift the left leg behind you. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Once again, keeping that upper body nice and squared. And then draw the knee in nice and close to the chest. Step it forward and lower the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Low lunge. Notice how each side feels. You might have a side that feels a little bit tighter, or maybe this feels a bit more accessible. We'll find one more breath here. And then let's plant the hands to frame out that foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. And then we're going to pivot open to warrior two on the other side. So inhale, reach the arms up, and then pivot that back foot open to the long edge of the mat. Now we're open to the right side. Go bend into the left knee, gaze over that middle finger. Inhale to reach forward, and then exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg, tilt forward, and then hinge from the hips. Find triangle pose. Right arm reaches nice and high. Left hand can rest on the shin. This feels amazing for my lower back. Hopefully it's feeling good for you somewhere. And then using that core strength again, let's rise up and reverse our triangle. Legs stay where they are. Good, inhale, rise up, find warrior two, bend the left knee again. And then taking the left forearm to the left thigh, let's reach the right arm up and overhead for our side angle. Good, now keeping the legs where they are, we're going to take the left hand down to the ground and reach the right arm up for a little twist. Beautiful, and then looking down at the fingertips. Let's go ahead and plant both hands. Come back onto the ball of that right foot. Plant the hands and then press back, downward facing dog. Optional Vinyasa. And we meet back in downward facing dog. On an inhale, let's step that right foot forward once again. And then go ahead and lower the back knee down, untuck the toes. Good, coming back into this low lunge. You're gonna find some movement here in that left hip flexor and then also in the right hamstring. So bend into the right knee, really beginning to open up the hips. And then exhale, shift the weight back, finding half splits. We're gonna straighten the front leg. Fingertips can come to the mat. And then come onto the heel of that right foot. So the toes are flexed. And we keep lifting the hips high. Now, if you have to shuffle around, that's all good. Maybe use your hand to move the heel. And then staying high on the fingertips. Or taking a small fold. Maybe moving through the two. Upper body, finding a bit of a pulse. And then go ahead and bend that right knee once again. Low lunge. Press into the right knee. We'll find one full breath here. And then depending on where you're practicing, depending on the padding or how your knees are feeling, you can stay here or you can come with me to find a quad stretch. You're going to plant the left hand down and then bend the back knee, reaching around to grab the foot with the right hand. And just carefully pulling that foot towards your seat. Awesome, let's release that foot. Come through your low lunge and then press back for a high plank. Lower down through chaturanga, building strength in the upper body this morning. Inhale for upward dog or baby cobra. And then exhale, downward facing. Let's step that left foot forward this time. Planting it in between the hands. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes. Good, rise up and press into the left knee. Noticing that the more time we spend on our mat this morning, the more spaciousness these tight areas feel. Begin to shift the weight back as you straighten the front leg. And then again, flex the toes. Maybe shuffle that heel forward a bit more. Finding half splits here. Stay high on the fingertips and maybe fold. Maybe you oscillate between the two. If you're feeling like you need a bit more peace this morning, a hold might feel nice. If you're wanting to invite energy into the body, you want to feel alive and awake, better than a coffee, you can find a bit more movement. Good, and then bend into the left knee once again. Find that low lunge. Staying here. All right, or perhaps planting the right hand down, Finding that quad stretch on the other side. You can bend that right knee and then pull the foot in towards the seat. Good, let's release that foot. Plant the hands to frame the left foot. Press back for plank. Last vinyasa of the morning. We can lower down, bringing the elbows in nice and close. Big push, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Gaze to the front of the mat. And then step the right foot forward. Good, let's begin to pivot the body open to the long edge of the mat, finding a wide-legged straddle. Rise up, bringing the upper body to stand. Hands can be on the hips. Oh, now we find our wide-legged straddle. Once you do, heel toe the feet as wide or as narrow as you like. Remembering you can adjust at any point, okay? We're at home, we're comfortable, we're safe. There's no rules. And then we're gonna slowly hinge from the hips, really slowly here. And begin to tilt forward with the head. Yeah, leading with the chest until we reach that flat back. And then release all the way down. Head is heavy, neck is long. Come onto the fingertips. And then begin to walk the hands over to the right as you bend the right knee. We're going to move through our ninja lunges. Now if the heel's off the ground, that's cool. All right, it's all about the inner thighs and the bend in the knee. And then let's walk our hands over to the other side. Shift the weight. And then flex the right toes. Good. Let's move through a couple of these. All right, feeling as ninja-like as you want. Maybe bringing the hands off of the ground. Maybe staying high on the fingertips. It's all good. Staying low, shifting the weight. Good. Really preparing the body for a day of everyone else needing your attention, work and animals and jobs, and just really noticing how your body's feeling and what it needs right now. And then begin to shift the weight back to center, find that forward fold. Stay nice and high on the fingertips here, find a flat back. And then heel toe the feet in a little closer as we make our way into a Yogi Squat. Begin to shift the heels down or the hips down. I'm sorry, you can hear my dog rolling around in his bed. He couldn't care less what we are doing. Awesome. And then straighten the legs, plant the fingertips. Walk to the top of the mat. Find our last little forward fold. And then bend the knees and roll onto your butt. Go. All right, let's straighten the legs. Give them a nice little wiggle. Yeah, find some movement. Maybe shake the feet from side to side. Beautiful. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees. The feet are planted on the ground. We're going to lean back into our hands. We're going to find a seated pigeon. So the right foot is going to come up and cross over top of the left knee. And then if you want to make this more intense, you simply walk the left heel in closer. And if you want to make it a little less intense, you can just walk that foot further away. Now flex the right toes. And then just breathe into that right hip. Good, let's go ahead and release that foot. Easy swap out here. Left leg raises up, and then we cross that foot over top of the right knee. Really focusing on being present here. If you feel like your mind is starting to slip to your to-do lists and everyone else that requires your attention, just come back to the breath. Just listen to it. This beautiful thing that keeps us alive all day, and we never even notice. Good, let's release that left foot. And then shuffle the feet to the top of the mat as you come onto your back. Keep the knees bent and then walk the heels in closer to the seat. We've done a lot of forward folds this morning, so we're going to counteract that with some back bending. Plant the heels, allow the hands to rest on the mat beside you. Press through the hands, and then lift the hips high, finding bridge. Good, draw the knees together. And then release back down to the mat. Good. Inhale, lift the hips, squeeze the butt cheeks. And release. Now option this time to come into bridge again, or maybe interlace the hands under your back. Or, I know it's early, so only take this option if it feels accessible. Maybe coming into wheel. Now lifting the hips. Like I say, walk the shoulders together, maybe interlace the hands under the back. Or maybe you'd like to take the hands behind you, beside the ears, elbows face the sky, and then a small lift. Wherever you are, and slowly release onto the ground. Good, and then extend the legs long. Allow the hands to rest by your side. And then draw both knees into the chest, bending the knees. Let's take the arms out to a T. So really stretching out each side of the body, or maybe cactusing them so that the elbows reach to the sides but the fingertips face behind you. And we'll take a twist, dropping the knees over to the right, gaze over to the left. Keeping both shoulders planted on the mat. Beautiful stretch for that lower back, nice release. And then use your core strength to draw the knees back up to center and drop them over to the other side. Just know that if anything cracks or pops, make some noise, that's okay. Unless it hurts, just know that your body's noisy, okay? That's full of water and air. And we're pretty much just giving ourselves a free chiropractor visit here. Draw the knees up to center. And then reach around with the hands to grab the shins or knees and give yourself a nice little rock and roll from side to side. Bring the nose up to meet the knees, big squeeze. And then choosing to lie down in Shavasana or gently rock and rolling forward into a seated position. Let's go ahead and cross the legs or find any other comfortable seat. Let's close down the eyes for a moment. Let the hands rest on the knees or in the lap. Really savoring these last few moments of me time before the world needs you. We fill up our own cups. And then just think of one thing that you're grateful for today. And with that in mind, we'll bring the hands to heart center and take a small bow, thanking that one thing for its presence in our life, thanking ourselves for taking this time this morning, and thanking the internet gods for giving us the ability to share this morning together. Thanks everyone, our practice is now complete.
Thank you.
Thanks, Charlotte.